Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's wait a couple of minutes for everyone else to join and we'll start. Thank you. Hello again. Thank you for everybody who's been waiting for the last couple of minutes, and good morning to everyone who has joined right now. Kalimera for all the Greek-speaking people in the webinar. I'd like to thank you so much for joining this webinar, which I believe will be of great interest to you. I am Synerise Linakis. I am the CEO at Linakis.digital. We're a digital consulting agency focusing on providing end-to-end services on the design and execution of business solutions that help our clients maximize their potential, based a lot on data-driven insights. We'd like to share with you that, as we all know, of course, 2020 has definitely been a year to remember. The pandemic has changed the way we live and we interact with each other, and of course with the market. It has forged a new normal for companies around the world, and of course in Greece as well. We have seen an unprecedented speed in the digital transformation process of companies, to a point where 6 out of 10 CEOs mentioned that within the last year, 2020, they made changes that would usually take years to implement. This rapid technological evolution creates, of course, new opportunities, but it also creates new challenges. A lot will depend on how companies will effectively adopt and utilize the new technologies and leverage the huge amount of data which is now generated online, and how they will rethink the customer experience and align their long-term strategy based on that. It's not a coincidence that 67% of the companies active in customer analytics state that they have increased the use of descriptive analytics in 2020. And they have done that in an effort to understand the changes that occurred within the year. So responding fast to a changing environment. So advanced analytics techniques, machine learning, information architecture are terms that we come across also often nowadays. And they are the tools that will help any modern company explore its customer portfolio and create personalized real-time experiences to drive engagement and sales. So before passing on the floor to my colleague Zoe, who will be our discussion moderator, I would like to share with you the fact that 2020 has also been a year of great change for Linakis Digital as well. Many of you already know us and trust us as a digital agency, but since the beginning of 2020, we have expanded our service palette to offer advanced analytics and CRM services through the collaboration with our good partner Synerise and the acquisition of Client IQ, top player in the analytics sector. So Zoe, if you could please go ahead.
Thank you, Vasilis. I would also like to welcome you all to today's webinar. Without further delay, I would like to introduce our partners and keynote speakers, Mrs. GIanneskis from IKEA, Dr. Victoria Kimonidis from Microsoft, Lyannous from Synerise, and for Linakis.digital, apart from the CEO, Vasilis Linakis, we have here with us Argyro Kotsikou and Ioannis Kostoulas. You can use your messenger anytime during the discussion to send us your question, and at the end of the webinar, we will be more than happy to address them. Please note that the session is being recorded and will be available online afterwards. Now, let's start our discussion with an overview of the changes monitored during 2020, as recorded by Microsoft and Synerise, who collaborate with companies worldwide. Victoria, would you like to go first?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you today. I hope you can hear me and see my slides. I'm Victoria Kimonidis. I'm leading co-selling with partners across Microsoft Central and Eastern Europe. So in the next few minutes, I will just share with you some figures, some trends related to our topic today. The pandemic, as you heard from Vasilis earlier, has changed the way we live. It has also changed the way people shop. With the quarantine and social distancing, e-commerce usage rates have skyrocketed throughout the world, Greece included. Looking at the sad, I would say, pioneer in this, China, this is here to stay, and e-commerce is expected to continue being a greater proportion of total sales. Year over year, we see a growth, a big growth of 19%, currently having about a third of the business being online. With COVID being the new chief innovation officer, everyone says it's a leap of a few years. I would say it's a leap of about a decade that we have seen being materialized over the past few months. The figures here speak for themselves. You see that consumers, here's the figure for US, but it's also valid for Greece. They have new shopping behaviors. We've seen many channels being leveraged for the fulfillment of the orders. And what is very important and relevant to what we're discussing today is the humanization of the digital experience, being closer to the consumers. And of course, the data explosion that comes with all these channels and the ways of driving transactions. In Greece, we see that most of the transactions actually happen over mobile phones. They happen over the weekend, and very interestingly, they happen over social media platforms. So what this tells us is that digital transformation is well underway, and it is led by the wants and needs of consumers. Data and intelligence is key in being on the front foot for every company that wants to be on the front foot and having a proactive stance on what is coming next. Companies are looking for effective ways to manage and analyze incoming information. And the most efficient way to do that is through SaaS solutions like the one presented today by Synerise. In closing, I would like to stress that in order to be able to be a leader in this game, it is very important for every company to understand the current e-commerce maturity level and then identify where action needs to be taken to bridge the gaps to the desired state. That is across three pillars: the experience delivery for the customers, consumers, employees, and vendors alike, having the right operational capabilities ranging from the digital marketing to where consumers are, to having secure transactions and logistics. And last but not least, the financial performance of any initiative that you choose to drive. This is where customer experience data, in conjunction with the ambient intelligence, become instrumental. Our ambition is to work hand in hand with partners like Synerise and Linakis to empower retail customers to seamlessly connect their customers, their people, and their data together. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy today's webinar. Zoe, back to you.
Thank you. I think it's time for Janus to mention the changes that he monitored during 2020.
I think somebody's in mute. Janus, please unmute yourself.
All right. Thank you very much, Vasilis, for the tip. I hope the technology always will play in favor to us, but not this time. I hope you can hear me. So Kalimera and Evharistopoli, Vasilis, for organizing this excellent seminar. Today, I will have the chance to take you through, I hope, inspirational journey of technology and business. Last September, Boston Consulting Group published report on AI in Greece, where among the companies that are using AI was IKEA from Furley's group. A report clearly presented that AI is getting strong presence among leading companies in Greece. So I will try to demonstrate how modern technology can help businesses to achieve the redefined, and the keyword is redefined, goals for year 2021. My name is Janusz Naklicki, and I'm Chief Strategy Officer at Synerise. A short intro about Synerise. We are the European company from friendly Krakow in Poland, and we were founded 7 years ago. We're about 200 people working on the platform that is in real time transforming data to the business value. So what we do in plain English, we are collecting and analyzing the data about people, customers, users, the environmental context, where are they, and the data sources in different formats. So in order to personalize, really, this is the most important, personalize the experience, predict the future, observe relations, and improve the products in order to basically generate new revenues for our customers. So just the recent story, as the tourist industry is very crucial for Greece. So this example can very well resonate here. 2 weeks ago, Synerise, our small company from Poland, came second in Booking.com global competition for predicting travel routes. So predicting what place the traveler, business or tourist, will visit next. This is how quickly AI is taking the grounds in the world around us, in very close world around us. So we are the data company. We are crunching a lot of data, not for ourselves, but for our customers. So they can make the business decisions to simply make money. Only then the whole technology makes sense. Increase revenues, cut costs, or improve the customer knowledge and satisfaction. So speaking about customers, we created the technology for customers. Currently, about 50% of our business comes from retail, and this is our largest industry segment, followed by banks and telco. So let me just name the several flagships customers like IKEA, mBank, Raiffeisen, Italian Post, or Orange. These are the customers among them. So in the last 12 months, thanks to the customers, we were able to precisely monitor the changes caused by pandemic. Right? We have we're looking at the data flowing, and the reaction of the customers, and we see how fast technology is being adopted, even by the most conservative companies. How cloud is being adopted in the matter of months, not weeks or years. So if you look at the impact of sales channels, according to Euromonitor 2020, e-commerce with 17% growth in the next years will be a clear winner, followed by discounters and convenience stores. This is how quickly the situation is changing. Why we see such a dramatic shift in the channels? It's not only COVID-19, how fundamentally important personalization became illustrates KPMG global market trends in the 2020 report. Now, this shows clearly that 80% customers will be, and this is the trend that cannot reverse, exposed to information digitally through the different channels. This is when we need to deliver relevant information in the right time with the right content. And this is where the AI behavioral patterns start to play a really important role. So I would like to pass this back to Zoe with this maybe a little bit longer introduction.
Thank you, Janusz. It seems that a lot has changed during this year, and the question is how companies should adjust their CRM strategies to meet the changing conditions. Argyro, could you please help us with this?
I'm Argyro Kotsikou. Can you hear me? Great.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Argyro Kotsikou. I'm a senior CRM and strategy consultant at Linakis.digital, and I would like to welcome you all today as well. I would like to start by saying that a CRM strategy is by definition an ongoing process rather than a one-off implementation, especially nowadays with the fast technological changes, the increase of usage of digital channels, and of course global competition. An effective CRM strategy requires to have constant monitoring of a company's dynamic and, of course, understanding individual needs, analyzing all customer interactions. That way, we can properly identify new opportunities and risks. And from that perspective, COVID has even made this need more urgent. Victoria and Janusz have already mentioned how the pandemic has changed customer spending patterns, and this is something that we also see from our work. In all the portfolios we manage, we have seen new segments emerge during this last year that require different handling. Regardless the sector, we have seen customers taking up new hobbies like home exercise, cooking, or drawing. We have seen customers continue making all their purchases online, even if the stores are open. We have also seen customers increasing their engagement with the brand, presenting an opportunity for the company, but also good customers who have indeed disappeared, representing a risk for the future if something is not done the earliest possible in order to retain them. Some of these behaviors are permanent, some may be just temporary. Anyhow, in these changing conditions, it is very important for the CRM teams to be alert, to be able to identify and measure the bottom line changes, and looking deeper to identify the source of the change, and using clever tools, analytic tools, to identify new segments that are in need of special handling. So it is very important, as Janusz also already mentioned, to redefine all our priorities and redesign our CRM strategies to create, in order to maintain our overall brand loyalty. My colleague Yannis Kostoulas, who is the head of Linakis Digital Business Analytics and Insights team, will help us and will share with us some further insights on the trends we have seen during the last year. Yannis?
Yes, good morning from my side as well. Thank you, Argyro. I would like to share some insights from what we have seen working with our customers. These examples cover mainly the big retailers and food retailers and grocery stores that we have been working the last years, but I'm sure that people in this discussion today from other industries will relate to many of these findings as well. First of all, it has been very interesting to see that under the overall trends and numbers in overall visit, we have seen clear shift in product preferences and spending habits. And one great example of such shift is our cleaning goods and personal hygiene goods. as customers have become more conscious about safety and sanitary matters, as we all understand. And of course, because people are trying to consolidate their spending in going to once in the supermarkets instead of going to pharmacies and many more points of sales. Also, we have seen a big increase in home organization and decoration with many retailers that we work with, as people want to spend more time at home and they want to make improvements in their houses, and we have seen that in the numbers. And finally, we have seen a lot of increase in cooking and barbecue equipment, frozen meals, alcohol spending. As we know, restaurants and bars have been closed pretty much throughout the year. Now families need to prepare their own meals, spend more time at home, so it makes sense that they have increased this expenditure. And what has been very interesting is that this increase is not limited only during the outburst in the first weeks of the measures or the lockdown periods, but they have remained very strong throughout the year. It remains to be seen if we are going to see permanent changes in behavior going onwards. On the other hand, we have seen some spending increase in product categories like the tissues and the milk and the ready meals during the outburst, which trends were reversed right after the first few weeks. And of course, some other areas that the hit was very severe, especially in industries where physical presence is very important, and some big projects had to be postponed for later on. Another common finding we saw in all the retailers was the big increase in the basket size and the decrease in the frequency of visits as customers try to reduce their going out and make visits to the stores, but they have not, especially in the big grocery stores, so they have not decreased their spending. They just make sure with fewer visits to increase their basket. And we experienced that not only in physical stores, but also in online spending, as people try to make bigger orders with more items compared to the past. Finally, a measure that for us is very important when we're trying to measure the customer loyalty to a brand is spending diversity. In short, we're counting the number of different product categories that the customers purchase from. And the more the categories, the more the chance of customers is that the customer is going to continue coming to the store because they're covering more of their needs. And it was very clear to see that diversity has increased and the basket diversity has increased during the year in many of the industries we're working with. Now, all these findings mean a lot to us in our analytics teams that are using this information. And let me give you some examples of why it is important nowadays to be very mindful of such changes. First and foremost, seasonality has changed. In the past, we knew how a Christmas period, the long weekends or summer holidays affect the numbers in sales for a company. Now, nobody can really be sure because there's no normal Christmas period and summer vacation period. So for the next years, we need to be to monitor very close and be mindful of what we should expect throughout the year. Our supply chain, of course, our forecasting processes, our communication, what we say to with customers. Another example is the benchmarking we're putting to our customers. Who is considered a good customer and who is not has totally changed. And we, as Argyros said, you need to monitor that and give perhaps second chances to customers that for valid reasons have to be away for a while during the year. And we need to readjust our decisions. And finally, all those machine learning algorithms that we put behind with predictive models and triggering mechanisms need to be recalibrated and readjusted. And the faster we're able to identify these changes and make these adjustments, the better the outcome will be, and the faster will be to bring value. And that's where I think Synerise and big data platforms can add value to the companies. So that's for me. Back to you, Zoe.
Thank you, Yannis. Janusz, could you tell us how customer data platforms like Synerise can help a company monitor and address the challenges of the current market environment?
Zoe, you always give me the most difficult job. All right. So Ioannis and Victoria and Vasilis gave us a good perspective on the market, on the dynamics of changes, on what's going on with the customer, what are the really needs that they observe in the market. My job now will be to take you through the tools that are really available, and I would like to start with the Gartner. What Gartner says, or what is going to happen, what are the trends for 2021, and where we, together with Linakis.digital in Greece, can fit as the product company. What tools are already available, and if you look at the what is the coming in the next years towards the technology. Internet of behaviors, the AI engineering, what Ioannis was talking, the real-time data analyzing, the creating the behavioral profiles, the multi-source acting, and so on, so on. We are experiencing the total transformation, how technology can understand and deeply adjust to the individual consumer preferences and needs. That we are coming in the very quick time of the last 12 months to the marketing of one, to the consumer care of one. And this is where we are starting. Synerise platform has basically everything customer needs to unlock through personalization. This diagram explains how we are transforming data from a single data point to a business decision or personalized offering. So on the left, you capture the raw non-aggregated data from basically any source. We collect and listen. Then we apply AI algorithm, and in understanding customer behavior, predict next move, analyze segments. And then finally, we have a smart execution through any channels to influence behavior of the pattern and the purchasing pattern of the customer. So we try to translate this technology jargon to business scenarios. So let's start from the very, very beginning, from the customer data platform. Our approach to CDP comes from the unlimited integration options, from raw data to campaign execution that are, applying to identified, and what is really more important, anonymous users. You see 360% customer view with everything what customer touched in the past and in the real time also reflected here. So we are building and enrich the audience profiles. So we can take the unique customer attributes like scoring, tags, attributes from external systems like CRM, and embed everything into the customer profile. And but the data is useless, and this is what I'm referring to what Ioannis was talking. The data is useless if we cannot analyze this. So Synerise has the built-in real-time analytics, which allows to understand customers better, their behavior, engagement, preferences, and choices, of course. Even the most complicated analytical queries, like the multi-level, multi-conditionals, like aggregates or expressions, are delivered in milliseconds. So you could watch the results of the promotion or campaign you just launched in real time and adjust them to squeeze out the best results. So we are bringing not only statistical methods, but AI-powered analytics, predicting, for example, propensity of the product or segments or customer churn in case of the financial institution. So you can organize your work process, boost efficiency to eliminate workflow housed by using advanced automation tools and technologies. So it's right there, all built in the platform. So, let me summarize. So we collect the data from multiple sources. So we have this 360% customer view of the single individual consumer. Then we apply the AI behavioral modeling to understand preferences. Now it's a time to deliver the right message, relevant and powerful, to the right device. It could be a mobile phone, could be computer, it could be any device. And here comes the Synerise marketing automation. Very easy and intuitive tool. The tool that even baby boomer like myself can use without the help of millennials in the office. So I can click and create the campaign with the dynamic personalized content, execute mobile campaigns on a very cheap mobile push option. So every member of marketing department will be able to deliver such a campaign automation from the laptop. Of course, with all the hierarchy and approvals and so on. And such tools like CDP, omni-channel marketing automation, AI, and behavioral analytics allow to create the essence, the quintessence of modern customer engagement, the so-called holy grail of the experience, the mass personalization. So this is a little bit of the oxymoron, mass personalization, but this is how it works. One single customer will receive its own personalized product recommendations based on the behavioral profile, or the understanding how the customer will react. Super modern and AI-powered for our customers that are successfully to boost the revenues and knowledge of the million of the clients. And this loyalty platform is not about the collecting points. That's the trivial from last century. That the loyalty modern loyalty platform is to create business backend, which will generate additional revenues. So I hope I zoom through the technology overview tools, which is they are available for you. Tools that are best used when they come together with the local market knowledge. So that's why we team up with the Linakis.digital. That's why we team up with the market leaders in the country. And I've been working with the Linakis.digital for more than a year and a half now. And in my opinion, this is the most competent digital transformation agency in Greece. And then together with the Microsoft as the global partner, we can make the real impact. So the real impact that we witnessed with the many organizations so far across Europe and globally, the companies like Orange, Leroy Merlin, IKEA, Żabka, and so on. So with this, I'd like to pass to Zoe, and I hope I did not kill you with the too many technical information, but those tools are ready to use right now.
Everything was great, Janus, thank you very much. Now let's move to IKEA. IKEA, as a major player in the Greek market and a pioneer of the retail industry, is already making use of their Synerise platform. Ada, could you please share with us the changes you made in your CRM strategy within the last year, and of course your Synerise experience so far?
Hello, good morning from myself. Hope you can all hear me. Just shout out if you can. I'm Ada. I'm Communication Director for IKEA in Cyprus, Bulgaria, and Greece, the countries we work with. And amongst other things, I also lead the digital transformation journey that we're on. And a little bit of Swedish for this morning, easy Swedish, so hey to all. I'll quickly guide you through what we have done in this process and how we have started our digital transformation a while back and what happened in this past year. So it's continuing actually the transformation in the COVID-19 era and this 20-year that was crazy for all of us, and how we went from a classic big box retailer, so these big stores in the outskirts of the cities, that digital was a kind of far from our journey and vision and everything, and how we linked the fantastic heritage that we had with us, because it's always difficult for companies that have very specific ways of working and a very strong culture set to change. It's like moving the Titanic before it hits the iceberg. And around 2007, we woke up to this new reality, and we figured that we would become obsolete at some point while remaining with these big boxes outside of the city and not capitalizing on what was happening, not looking into what was happening and shifting our strategy. And we would hit that iceberg, and we had to shift everything that was going on at that point. we knew that change was needed. We took a very hard look at ourselves and felt that, we've all seen, and you all know around, that a lot of companies don't pass the 100-year mark. They go out of business because they don't adapt to this change. So it was sort of a slap in our face that something actually had to be done. And we started in 2017 this digital transformation journey. And the first hard look that we took to ourselves, and we had to work with change management within the organization, that digital was not about the site, and it was so much bigger than just a website and what we were doing on the website platform. We created a team, and it started from C-level downwards to the organization, and the team was combined a bunch of different functions. So it was not only IT, it was not only communication, it was not only sales, it was functions all around, because significant change was needed to the fundamentals and the foundations of the company. And these 105 projects obviously were an overkill. So we had a list of a bunch of things that had to be done, and it wasn't easy to do them on our own. So a critical and key point of this journey was siding with the right partners. As a company, IKEA, and within our group, because we're part of the Food Lease group, we are very much pro outsourcing things, because at the end of the day, we are specialists in selling sofas. We are specialists in creating dream solutions with home furnishings. We are not specialists in everything else. We could decide to bring specialists in the company, but what we believe, and this is a very deep belief, that in 6 months, even the best expert out there will become part of our organization and adapt our set of values and our sets of thinking. We don't want that. We want to find the best players out there, the best experts out there, and let them bring their expertise to us while they continue to grow within their set of expertise. So our first, I have to say, main partner was Microsoft, where we teamed up with them in this journey to see how we would work. And they partnered us up with a lot of specialists. And our strategic partners now, amongst others, are Synerise and Linakis.digital. And what I believe is totally amazing with working with expert players out there is that we can give them our vision, which might be something very fluffy or something that's not tangible. And when you partner up with these companies, and what we saw with Synerise and Linakis is that we can blurt out things and then it becomes tangible. They give us the way of how our dream can become a reality, how our dream can materialize, or if it cannot, if we're in the clouds and we don't know what's going on and something can't happen. So it's very important partnering up with the correct people, listening, bringing your ideas and taking in what's brought into you, what's brought in from the companies, and seeing what you can create together. And what we have done with both sides of the spectrum with both companies, on the one hand, we have the AI technology from Synerise. We're working with a bunch of things on the website, similar and complementary products, error pages, lastings, all things around what we were doing manually actually before a person was sitting there and thinking that, oh, this product might complement something else. So this was not efficient, it was not effective, and it was not generating the sales and the commerciality that we wanted. So all these things we're bringing in, and we have a bunch of other products in the pipeline that we're working on and that you will see at some point coming up on the site. And on the other hand, on the data analytics, we were sitting on huge amounts of data and we weren't doing really anything with them through our CRM platform. So through our IKEA family and loyalty program, we were sitting on a lot of data and actually didn't know what to do with them. We were doing the very basics. And what we did with Linakis.digital was digging into the data and ideas coming up on what we could do, next steps, whether it was what we can do to personalize messages and everything. The amazing thing is with both these products is how we increased our IOI, how we secured savings. So we were communicating in a better way. We were doing things in a better way, and we were becoming more relevant to our market. So in a sense, you're increasing sales, saving costs, and becoming more relevant, engaging with your market even more. Because at the end of the day, what we want our customers to say is that, I think these guys at IKEA kind of know me and kind of know what I want and how I want to live in my home. We were already on this journey when 2020 happened. And the amazing thing was that we were lucky to have a lot of things in place. So we just pushed the button and accelerated and did even more things. We were lucky because if we were not at that point in 2019, it would have been an even more difficult journey. So we offered our customers what they wanted in the home. And also we were very lucky as we were a brand that had something to say during lockdown. So we were stuck in our homes and we sort of gave them a solution on what to do in their homes when they were stuck in their homes. So it was how we figured out and how we gave them what they wanted in an attempt to try and increase our sales with closed stores, obviously. So what this year proved yet again is that the only constant that we have in life and in business is change, and we can either panic or sit back and enjoy the ride. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ada. We heard an excellent example of how a data-driven company like IKEA has managed to address last year's challenges by utilizing Synerise. Our hero, can you share with us how Linakis Digital use AI in the CRM strategy and why platforms like Synerise are keys to success?
Sure. Thank you, Zoe. So AI tools are actually machine learning algorithms that help us analyze data much faster, identify associations more accurately, and of course automate processes. And these all end up and enable the business to make more clever decisions, to have impact at the bottom line, and react quickly to the customer changing patterns. As an example, let me share with you how we at Linakis Digital utilize AI to address the customer retention challenge. I know customer retention is a topic that touches all industries. So, to begin, what we do first is define churn and create the relative KPIs. When should a customer be considered lost? You will think when inactive for 1, 3, 6 or even 12 months. That answer varies based on the market sector, on the seasonality, on the channel preference. Also, the company needs to know how much value is lost when a customer turns inactive, as not all customers have the same lifetime value, correct? So now we have created our KPIs and we need to monitor them through time. If the trends are increasing or too high, or even the value lost is too big, then the company should consider investing in a customer retention strategy. And this is exactly where the AI comes in, with the creation of a predictive model, helping us calculate the probability of every single customer leaving the company in the near future. Once the model is ready, then it is time for some strategic decision to be made. How many customers are we going to target and what is their value? How much of this value can be saved, realistically speaking, and at what cost? Also, we need to define the offers. How many offers are we going to make in order to save customers, and what type of offers, and what will be the frequency of the communication? All these make up our retention strategy. Once the retention strategy is rolled out, then we have to set up an evaluation mechanism. The company needs to know how many customers reacted to our offers, but the most important is to see if the retention strategy created has been able to reverse the disengagement pattern of the customers, ending up retaining them. So all this will be needing to be reevaluated periodically, and of course, all the models will have to be revalidated from time to time. This entire journey and methodology needs to be followed for any CRM initiative we execute. Either we're talking about cross-sell or taking up new members, re-engagement strategies, or promoting a new product or service. What we need to keep in mind that there are two success factors. As Ada mentioned prior, it is important to have analytics and strategy expertise. Analytics and strategy experts are the one who will help your company read through the patterns, identify and size opportunities, and set the correct priorities together with the business. They will also assist you to choose the AI tool that best fits your needs, design the roadmap to the implementation, and of course, monitor the ongoing execution to perform the fine-tunings needed. The second element of success is, of course, operational efficiency. And this is where AI platforms like Synerise do come in and are the game changers. Nothing can be done if we cannot do it correctly and quickly. AI platforms like Synerise enable us to have a complete overview of all customers' interaction, regardless the touch point, and real-time monitoring of the company's KPIs. Also, they provide a large variety of AI capabilities and clever automation tools for efficient implementation. I know, Janus, you can surely share with us your experience with the up-to-date Synerise implementation, and of course, let us in on the latest AI developments. Janus?
Yes, obviously, but Zoe gave me only 5 minutes, so it will be a limited. So, guys, look what we've done through or we've gone through this 50 minutes. So from Victoria and Vasilis' overview of the market and the dynamics and changes, through understanding the tools that are available in the hand, and then to most important perspective, the customer perspective, with Ada sharing us how the IKEA took the journey of the digital transformation before the bad things happened in the world, and what are the areas that they've started and they continue through the COVID time. And I think the most important sentence that I heard today was this, the statement that these guys from IKEA kind of know us. So this is a very positive approach, also from not only from the vendor perspective, but also from the consumer perspective, because we are able to offer them the things they really need, or the things they really think about. We are able to present them the connection between different products and encourage them to take this for their journey. So I would like to just wrapping up the point on the fact that a lot of customers already took on the AI journey. The adoption of AI is very broad now. Almost all of our customers take the advantage of this. For example, New Balance, the shoe manufacturer, is taking the AI search and then converting this into the increased revenues. The retail customers are taking recommendations. Banks and financial institutions are using propensities and churn that was very well covered by Argyrio as an example of one of the tools that you can have. So we work together with the business departments like sales and marketing, where customers are using the effects of our work, and the Linakis.digital. So they are taking the decision based on the recommendation the tools are bringing. But we also work with the data science teams, like in the company like Italian Post or the Orange, where there is a data science team inside. So there are two ways of working with the customers that we offer. So we can either bring the ready-made solutions and then present how this can be used, or we can create together with the data science teams the solutions inside the company, more customized way. So if you look at the ready-to-use products, Argyrio was going through this. There are many products that are practically ready to use and available for implementation right now. We spoke about the practical AI application of algorithms to business, and I would like to give you the one story, that example of a simple product like vanilla cheese. We work with Danone. They were introducing the vanilla new version of the popular snack, popular cream cheese. And our AI algorithm discovered the completely new segment of shoppers that they make homemade pastry with this vanilla cheesecake product, right? Segment was quite substantial. About 80,000 of people are doing this. So these people were using the vanilla cheese for specific purpose, the handmade pastries. Danone immediately created the dynamic content for this group of the customers, focus on the home cooking. And this was done pretty much automatically. So you don't have to have an army people. The systems will understand the new segments, new categories, and will propose the communication, personalized communication. Of course, this is the human factor for this, and they automatically adjust the campaign shape through the automatic A/B testing. So these are all real live examples. So as we heard from the panelists, AI is at our doorstep. We don't have to build the whole department of data science to take advantage of it. Take the example of IKEA. Ada was mentioning, we are good at making sofa and making people feel really well at the IKEA stores. So we outsource, we team with the partners. And this is how we vision the world of the partnership. AI comes embedded in solutions, comes with the modules, comes with the particular use cases. And the technology is tested and verified and ready to be brought to you by the trusted advisors like Linakis.digital, like Microsoft, like Synerise. So it's here. We know how to take it, and we know how to convert into the real business. And the Zoe, I think I will not continue because I could go on and pass to you.
Thank you very much, Janusz. I think it was an intense hour. At this point, I would like to invite you all to send us your question that you may have for our guests and partners. Okay, I see a question now. Okay. Now, can the Synerise platform be implemented on top of existing ERP and eShop systems? I think this is for you, Janusz.
Well, I can answer this, or Vasilis could answer this. This is we are equally capable now after the almost 2 years of cooperation. Yes, this is the beauty of this. We don't have to replace anything what you have in your company. This is implementation takes from 1 to 2 months. It's very light and agile, and it could cooperate and to be embedded in the any existing ERP/CRM system. Vasilis, any comment on this one?
Yes. I think it doesn't only, it can, but it is designed, let's say, to work this way. It's not meant to replace anything. It's meant to work in tandem with where all the information gets gathered and where all the transactions take place, etc. So the beauty of it is that you can quickly feed it with all the information, and it will start crunching the data and giving you insights without any further infrastructure costs or software setup and maintenance costs, etc. This is very important. And also the professional services provided by both Synerise and Linakis.digital can quickly connect with the industry ERP systems, etc., using web services and transfer the data in real time between the systems.
Thank you, Vasilis.
Any more questions in the chat?
Yeah, I'm moving on to another question coming from GIanneskis, and I think, Vasilis, this is for you. Vasilis, do you think that digital consultancies in Greece specifically have undergone the necessary transformation to be able to offer audience targeting to clients from a data perspective?
That's actually a very interesting question. To be honest, I think some of them have, just like us, we have done our own fair share of transformation. But I think depending on the background that each company has, I haven't seen a holistic approach in so many cases. I think, some agencies think that just, a piece of software or technology can do the trick, and they do not support that in with all the consulting services that are needed. Other agencies try to do all the consulting, without actually utilizing the power of the technology that can be provided by a platform like Synerise. So what we realized quite early, we have been working with personalization and data-driven decisions on websites and mobile applications for more than a decade now. But we realized that we can not only look at what's going on just the behavior of clients and customers on the website. We need to combine that with a lot more information in order to have true insight as to what the customers need and want. So just by looking at visits, clicks, and paths on the website doesn't do it. So, as you asked, we have done our own transformation. We identified a few years back that we have to find a new technology partner. We discussed with Synerise, and since the beginning, we realized that we can be a very good match. And we also realized that we have to onboard a very knowledgeable team on analytics. It's not just looking at Google Analytics and doing the job. So combining that with our technology knowledge and infrastructure that we already had, and being able, as I said, to quickly connect back office systems and get the data where it should be, I think we have quite a good offering at the moment for what can be a holistic approach around utilizing data and artificial intelligence. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, Vasilis. I moved on to the next one question, but I don't know who is the participant who asked. From your experience, what platform functionalities do your customers utilize most? I'm not sure if this is addressed to Janusz or Argyro. I'm not sure, actually.
I think we can share I can tell from my perspective, and also Argyro can say about the analytical tools, right? So for us, obviously, all the journey starts with the CDP and the connecting all the dots and utilizing the knowledge that is somewhere sleeping in the company about the customers, about their interactions and so on. And then also we apply the tools that are actually converting and increasing the conversion, whether it's the conversion to purchase, conversion to go deeper in the pages, and so recommendation systems, and then finally marketing automation. These are the top three. And now in the last 3 months, we've seen the tremendous increase of the interest in the loyalty tools. The loyalty tools understood as the tool for the understanding the customer better, right? And the connecting the customers. So Argyro, to you.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Janusz. These are the top functionalities used, and we've also seen an increased usage of all the gamification elements available through the platform to make more appealing loyalty programs. And of course, the AI capabilities of predictive modeling and recommendation is something that our customers are increasing their usage.
Okay, thank you very much, Sergio and Janusz. I think we should wrap up. And I will ask just one more question. I'm not sure which one actually, because every question is very interesting. Okay, I like this one more. Yannis Yirakopoulos again. We read that customer satisfaction has replaced customer experience as the top sales metric. We don't really appreciate the royal in Greece, but is customer intelligence the king? It's a smart question, I think. And I think everyone here can answer this question. I'm not sure who would go first.
I don't know. In my opinion, customer experience and customer satisfaction have always been very closely related. I mean, taking care of the customer experience on your channels, whether they be digital or physical, should really aim to the satisfaction of the customer and their needs. And that was, that should have been the top sales metric always, I think it still is. I don't think, that this has changed. I just think that we have new methods and tools to understand what this satisfaction is, because, we're talking about human beings, and no matter how much technology we have, it's still, unpredicted behaviors out there. There is, different behaviors by different people. So we can only do the best of our efforts to understand each individual person in our clientele and provide the best possible experience or product or whatever they need in the right time, which usually means close to real time, of course, and that's a huge technological challenge as well. But yes, I mean, customer intelligence, I think, is just the way that we now have the more powerful tools and processes that we have in order to increase customer satisfaction through better customer experience. That's my opinion.
If I can talk about our journey as well, in our 20 years in the Greek market, if I can say that, we've gone through a different way of working. So it was that IKEA was king in the beginning, and we were pushing whatever we had to the customers. Then this huge crisis hit us, and it was like the customer became the discounted king. So it was like the king, o ektotos, if I can say that in Greek. So it was a king that was very pissed off and very mad with what he had lost of the 2004 and 5 and 6 years in Greece. So then he really became king, and then we really had to cater to the customer in a different way and personalize what he wanted, because IKEA is a mass brand, and it is a mass production brand, and it's how you give that product in a way that the person feels that it's personalized, that it's for him, and that I know him. And that's the key combination, that at the end of the day, I know specifically you. I might be selling 10,000 Billy bookcases, but how I cater it to you is led from customer intelligence, if that kind of makes sense.
Thank you very much, Ada. Basically, I would like to thank you all for participating in this webinar. I think it was a very interesting and intense hour. I hope that each one of you has found something interesting today. We're interested in your thoughts, so write to us at Linakis.com or at Synerise.com directly, or at LinkedIn. I'd like once again to thank you all, and I wish you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good morning to everybody.
Bye.
Καλημέρα.